We're going to start off as we did on Thursday, a bit of mobility first, then going into our knee to wall stretch. Okay, so starting off up on your feet. First thing I want you to do, and again, it's not a balance exercise, feel free to lean against the wall, it's just as large an ankle roll as you can do. Just standing on one leg, I just want you to take the ankle joint through as big a range of movement as physically possible. And then reverse that and go the opposite way. And stopping there, changing feet. And again, as large a circle as possible. So don't focus on speed, focus more on getting to the extremes of range at each point. So maximal toes in, maximal to the left, maximal plantar flexion, so pointing the feet down, then maximal eversion, maximal foot to the right. And keep circling around. And then change direction. And we're going the opposite way. Okay, and stopping there. Number two is going to be, I'm just going to let someone else in, guys. Number two is going to be our knee to wall test. So I'm going to bring it down so you can see exactly what I'm doing towards the desk. So have your foot quite far away from the desk or the wall to start with. And I want to see if you can get your knee towards that desk wall. Feel free to lean on your desk, so for wherever you're doing it, or lean on the wall, like I did. And to start with, I just kind of want you to push forward 10 times. Take it 9, 8. You're bringing the knees over the toes. 7, 6. Always keep the heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we've mobilized the joint. Now all we want to do is add the stretching. So now I want you to just get to a point where you can touch your knee on the surface and the heel's just about to come up. So for me, I've kind of just about nailed that in one, which is good. If you do need to kind of step back or move forward, that's too easy for me now, so I come back a little bit. I find that kind of biting point there. I can feel the stretch. I'm using the opposite foot to actually hold the heel down, and then I'm just going to hold the stretch there. My knee's not actually touching, but it's close, and I can feel the stretch. I'm offloading myself through my arms. So I'm just allowing that lower limb and the legs to stretch. So this is stretching a muscle called soleus, which attaches into the Achilles tendon. So not the too big calf. You may feel a stretch in those as well, your gastrocs at the top, but it is a little bit usually stretch lower down. We're just going to change feet. So I actually want you quite far away again with the right, because I don't want you banging your knee off the wall of the desk. And you're just going to come forward for 10, 9, knee over the toes, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm going to find my stretching point. So I'm about 15 centimeters away there. So I think this should be, yeah, perfect. So I kind of know my distance because I've done it so many times. Otherwise, just have a little play around, see when you can feel the stretch. That really adds to the stretch for me. This side, I feel it a lot more because on my left ankle, I have something called anterior ankle impingement. So where the joints are a little bit locked up. So to be honest, when I do this on my left side, I can't particularly feel it too much around the back. I feel it more in the front of the ankle, whereas this I only feel in soleus of the Achilles. So I'm feeling it right here. So not too high, actually a little bit lower down. So that's the benefit of doing an easy wall stretch over just your generic calf stretch where you pop one leg back. You're getting that tight, taut muscle that works really hard underneath called soleus. Stopping there, guys. Speaking of that generic calf stretch, we can go straight into it now. So, left leg, switch feet again, back. Lean on a surface or against a wall. Drive that back heel down into the floor. And just hold. Remember, with all your stretches, they're going to be at least 20 seconds to allow tissues to start stretching out. Any viscoelastic tissue, you realistically want to give it around 20 seconds plus. Again, all the stretches, think about your breathing patterns, slowly breathing down. So you're naturally then more likely to relax the muscle rather than hold tension in your muscle fibers. Use your arms to offload your weight in order to push back into the stretch again, because you're just adding into the stretch, going further. Changing feet, now stretching right calves. The knees and extensions, the knees straight, so we're therefore stretching more the top of the calf than the bottom. So you take the knee out, and you take out those gastroc attachments, so you work lower down the soleus. You keep the knee in, the knee's fully locked, or it's an extension. You're going to be doing more of the gastrocnemius stretch, so 2 heads, lateral gastroc, your gastroc, and you cut up to the top. There you go, a bit of an anatomy lesson for you as well. On the side, we've got peroneals. Okay, we're going to stretch those next, coming up. Just practice pushing the ankle down into the floor as if you're going to give yourself an ankle sprain on the side. Just see how that feels, range of movement wise. So for me, to be honest, I feel that more so just in the ankle joint. Some people, if they've got really tight peroneals, will feel it in the side, but we're just trying to, the distal attachment, we're trying to push down to the floor. Again, don't worry too much if you don't feel it specifically in the side of the calf. So this is an inversion stretch. You're inverting the ankle. The other way would be eversion. That's inversion. And again, the other side. And if you push the ankle down to the floor, then actually straighten the knee, push the knee back a little bit, you will increase the stretch a little bit through peroneals. Again, you may just feel it in the side of the ankle joint. It's not an issue. It's also joint mobilization. It's not just a stretch. So we're just putting the joint into maximal inversion, giving it a bit of a stretch. And coming back up there. Good, so we've done our work there around the ankle. Next we're going to come into hips and knees. We're going to start off with our kind of pattern in standing. So starting off wide hamstrings, okay, and we're just going to reach down towards the floor. Feel that straight away. Again, if you struggle to get to the floor, either go wider with the hands or use your bottom stair at home. Okay, to put your hands onto. But if you can reach the floor, that's great. Just hold. If you can reach it easily, go knuckles down. And if knuckles down is easily, go hands flat. Okay. And again, think about getting your head towards your knees as well. So think about that kind of lean forward, adding in hips and back. And then all I want you to do is just slowly walk the hands over to that left foot. Just load up that left side, give it a good stretch. And then walk over to the right side. And again, think about leaning forward, pushing the knees back. Keeping the hips high, bringing the chest and your head down towards the knees. And coming back to the middle. Can you get any lower this time? Can you sit the hips up higher? Can you bring your chest down further? Okay, and then just go onto your knees and walk yourself back up. Nice and tall there. Okay. We're going to do quads in standing next. So leaning onto something, bringing the heel up. If you can't get the heel in towards your bum, pop it on the sofa or a desk or something, or chair behind you, and then you can sit back as far as you can. Otherwise, all you're doing is pulling the heel in towards your bum as far as you can. That's really easy. You can drop the knee back slightly as well to add to the stretch. And then we're going to change legs, guys. Switching feet. Other leg up. And then slowly coming down there. Good stuff. We're going to come down to the mat next, so down to the floor. And again, we're going to go back to a bit of a hamstring groin routine. So first of all, on the feet as wide as you can get, and then reaching forward. I can usually get between my heels, so I'm nowhere near that at the moment. So again, just get as far as you can to start with, and just hold the stretch. You can feel this abductors, so your groin, and then back to the thighs, hamstrings a little bit. You may, if your back's feeling stiff today like mine is, feel it in your lower back as well. Just reach forward, getting closer to imaginary line between my heels now, so that's good. And just hold. And what I want you to do is just walk the hands over to the left hand side and reach forward. And again, you feel it. Back to the knees, hamstrings, groin, probably both sides. If not to the side you're pulling away from a little bit more. And just hold. See how far you can walk the fingers down the side of the leg. And then walking yourself back up and over to the right hand side. And again, just walk yourself down that right leg, see how far you can get. Again, when the stretch does ease up, again, just creep forward a little bit further. And then coming back up. Okay, next one is going to be both feet in front. So that's sit and reach test, feet together. And just reach forward. How far down the legs can you get? Can you get to your shins, your ankles, your laces, or can you get to your toes? You can get to your toes, can you get over your toes? Again, feel free to lean forward. And again, if the stretch eases up, bring your hands further over or further down. And then coming back up. Okay, bring one foot into the thigh. Keep the left leg straight and reach forward again. And just single hamstring stretch. So the right sole of my foot blocking into the right side, the inside of my left thigh, and I'm just reaching forward. You can reach forward with two hands, or you can have one hand and then use the other hand to just kind of pull you into the stretch a little bit further. And coming up from there, changing sides. So you're going to bring right foot forward and straight. Left foot comes in as a block. And reaching that right leg. Keep this leg down. You should be able to push the right foot into the floor. And just lean forward, lean your body forward. And just hold again. And again, slowly coming back up. And we're going back to groin. So now you're going to move both feet in. Soles of the feet stay together. And just let the knees fall out, okay? If that's enough of a stretch, leave it there. If it's not, grab the ankles and use the elbows to push the knees down to the floor. And then slowly straighten one leg out again. So right leg, go left leg over and hug that leg in. So we're going from adductors to the abductors, so your glutes. Pull that knee in around. You may actually get a tiny bit of hamstring involvement as well. All the muscles that attach into the high T-band side of the leg. Pulling in and you're pulling round. That's why it's good to use. There's my left leg and use my right arm as a hook. So the right arm's pulling over this way to the right. Coming down there, changing legs. So the leg comes up and over. And again, opposite arm if you can, as a hook. And then pull in and around. So I'm kind of hooking with both arms, but Thinking about the left arm doing the majority of the work, putting the right leg round. And releasing there. Going back down, good stuff. Okay, lower backs next. Definitely need this morning. Back's been very tight. Laying flat on the mat to start with. And we're just going to go off. Nice gentle knee rolls to start with. Keep the shoulder blades, and if you can, elbows pinned down into the floor. And then just let the knees fall from side to side. I can see straight away, shoulders are coming up a tiny bit. I'm not getting as far as usual. So I know a little bit more now objectively. My back is quite tight today. Muscles are a bit hyperactive in my back. Kind of arms out flat, guys, like crucifix position, or just elbows down, whatever's comfortable for you, as long as you're still able to keep the shoulder blades pinned down to the floor. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Going back up. Okay. Number 2 is going to be a knee hug. So you're going to bring both knees in towards the body. Use the hands to pull them in, or again, if you can get that elbow hook, get your hips nice and flexible. Hook the elbows round and pull in nice and tight. And just hold. And coming back down again, nice and slowly, and going straight back in to knee rolls. So just draw the legs to the side and over to the other side. Good, stopping back in the middle again, and again 30 seconds. Hold, pull the knees in tight, and a knee hook there. And again, slowly coming back down, and final time through, off to the side. See if you can get a little bit further this time. Knee rolls again. Dropping the knees down, side to side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 back to the middle. And again, 30 seconds. Knee hug, pull in tight, and hold. This is one where you're compressing ribs diaphragm a little bit, so this is one where it's important to slowly breathe it down. Really just try and relax into the stretch, try not to hold your breath. Just relax your breathing pattern. And slowly coming back down. Okay. From there, whilst we're in this position, we'll go for glutes. So if you go ankle over knee, okay, we're going to do our figure 4 stretch or piriform stretch. Bring that knee in towards the body. Try and get a hook with the hands around the back of the thigh and pull in tight. Okay, so I've got my right ankle on my left knee, and I can feel my right glute stretching. Slowly coming back down there, changing the legs. So left ankle over right knee, or vice versa. Right knee pulls in towards the body. Both hands grab around the back of the right thigh to pull that left leg in closer. So coming down, and then sitting yourself up. You can use that hook around the back of the leg to sit yourself forward a little bit easier. Okay, next exercise, guys. You're going to be on your front. We're going to go for spinal extension next. Okay, so Cobra pose. If you haven't done it before and you struggle, elbows, okay. Otherwise, push the hands up and out in front. If you're good at this one, bring hands to the side and then push up. Okay, you're not trying to bring the hips off the mat. You're still keeping the hips down. And you just hold in and breathe. Pull shoulders back, and you'll get more of an ab stretch as well. And then coming down, coming up, and we're going to do a bit of hip and back mobility with cat-cow. So you want to drive your belly button down to the floor, okay, and arch your back. And then you want to come the other way, tuck the hips underneath you, and you bring in, again, belly button in towards the hips. And you're reversing that, basically sticking your bum up in the air, driving the belly button down to the floor, arching your back, and then you actually reverse that movement. Tuck the hips under, tuck the tailbone underneath you. Tense your abdominals, pull yourself in, and then you're going to reverse and go the opposite way. And think about what's going on at the shoulder as well. So you're dropping down through your shoulder blades, going forward, head down, and then your head just coming up, and again. Shoulder blades are kind of protracted there, and then retract, so they come back. As your belly button comes down, and you slip your bow up in the air. Okay, so that's your cat-cow or pelvic tilt exercise. They come from there to Cobra again. So from there, you just come back down and then you push yourself up again and hold. And again, slowly come down and push yourself up. And we're going into the cat cow position. Hips tucked under, hips tucked down. Again, I'll go straight side on so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So you're in 4-point kneeling, your back's down and arched. Obviously arched downwards, and then it's arched upwards. You tuck the hips underneath you. Trying to go to the two extremes of the range of movement. So all the way up and in, hold tight, in, tuck the hips under, and point the hips down, point your headlights down, so front of the hip, point it down, and then point it up. Try and tuck it up and under as if it was pointing to the ceiling. And again, pointing down. And then coming up. These are called cat cows and cat camels, I've heard them called as well. Several other names. Again, pelvic tilts. So then we're coming back into that Cobra pose. Down to floor, back into extension last time through. And coming back down into 4-point kneeling. And again, hips down. See, headlights. If you imagine those torches on the front of your pelvis, yeah, that's your whole point. You're pointing those headlights down, and you're tucking them under, pointing them up. You point them down, you point them up. But you're doing that in 4-point kneeling. So you're pointing down, and you tuck it underneath you, and point them up. If I just tuck under there and hold, I can't feel a stretch. But if I really force my hips under and contract my abs, I actually get a really nice stretch in the lower back. I can almost feel the cloak coming. And again, drive the belly button down to the floor. And tuck under again. Important to learn your pelvic tilts for exercises like a squat and a deadlift. So probably the two best exercises for strength, muscle growth. And calories burnt as well to a certain extent in terms of one movement, because you can load up a lot of weight in those exercises. It's important to be able to differentiate between the two, otherwise you're always going to work your hip and back together. You're just going to really stiff back, you have a poor squat, poor deadlift. Yeah, tuck your hips underneath you. And back down. Okay, so from there, we'll come to the wall and do one of my favourite mid-spine exercises, so mid-back. What I want you to do, I'm going to put my mat near the wall. You're going to be in kneeling. And you're going to have two hands in front, and you're going to open out and bring the other arm round behind you. Okay? Now I've got tools, I need to come forward a little bit, give myself some space. So my wingspan, it's quite large actually on this wall. Just opening out, close the space down, open the space out. hands together, and then you just turn. Try and get the opposite arm. Well, you can equally do this against the sofa or something like that. Okay. Changing sides. I'm going to stand up, but feel free to swivel around. And again, against the wall, hands are together, and open up. I always find it hard this way. Just about getting round. If I can feel my shoulder coming off the wall a little bit on the left side, and I turn to the right. Last one through. And stop it there. Good stuff. Another nice one. The mid-back. Thoracic spine. Thoracic openers. Again, 4-point knee in. Hand on the back of the head, tucking the elbow under the body. And then you pull him round. I've seen how far you get. You can again cement. I can't sit back because of the injury I've had onto my heels too much. But if you sit back into your heels, you can almost kind of set the lumbar spine down, and then you're just focusing on how much rotation you can get through mid-back. I know I'm pointing from the front, but again, the area of work mid-back. The hand on the back of the head, elbow tucks under the other elbow as far as you can, and come out and round as far as you can. Again, tuck under and round. Then out and round. Under. And then out. Open out. Under. And out. Any of you golfers out there, this is quite a nice one. Open out a bit of rotation. Changing sides, guys. So one right hand down, left hand on the back of my head. Get left elbow under. And then open out to the left side. Again, I feel a little bit easier going this way. And last one through, second under. And open out. Good stuff. Okay. From mid-back, we'll come up the shoulder girdle, shoulders. We'll start off posterior shoulder caps. We'll bring the arm across the body, pull it nice and tight. Pull them in, you also pull them round. But as I've said before, guys, if you don't feel this one too much, don't worry about it. You're more likely to be tight in the front of the shoulder than the back of the shoulder because we do so much in that kind of frontal movement. So driving, desktop, laptops, phones, tablets, use our hands doing things in front of us, usually not behind for obvious reasons. So you're more likely to gain tightness in the front of the shoulders than the back. Coming down there, guys, changing arms. And coming back down there. I'm going to go underneath the shoulder now, arm up and over. Okay, I come down a bit so you can see. Arm up and over, give yourself a pat on the back, and then bring that elbow over your head. Use your neck as well, neck extensors to push back with the elbow and just hold. Also, the position I'm in, I actually get a very nice stretch. My left toes. So phalangeal joints. Okay, I'm driving my toes into the floor. Changing over. Let's see if I can do it all right. I'm not very good at kneeling on it just yet. That's not too bad. So feel free, like I'm going to double up your stretches. Give it work through the toes as well as doing under the arm, triceps. And come down there. So the one that's going to be tight, 99% of people, front of the shoulder. Again, you do our wall stretch. Okay, if you've got a pole or a door frame, something at home that you can block the arm against, you're just going to turn out and hold. Okay, I'll bring laptop up a tiny bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to use this corner of the door frame I've got here to block my arm against. And then I'm turning, right arm blocked, and turning to my left. I'm just leaning, pushing into the frame, leaning into the room. I'm just going to hold there. And I'm relaxing there, I'm going to change arms. So my left arm's now blocked. I'm turning into the room to my right. And I'm relaxing there. Finish off, guys. Shrug your shoulders up as high as you can, and then just let them drop down. Okay, shrug your shoulders up, and then just let them drop down. Then shrug up, pull back, and then let them come down. And again, shrug up, pull back, and then let them come down. Okay, and just shrug it off nice and quick. And again, hopefully your shoulders are nice and relaxed now. Thank you again for coming to Full Body Stretch, guys. Any questions as usual, jack@energizedtherapy.com. Feel free to leave comments in the comments box and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can.